your content plan, we talked about looking at scrutinizing your LinkedIn activities and what marketing materials that you have, and that's where it's going to pop up, and that's where we're going to have a serious talk about what you need to prepare. All right, but because that's the way forward, where you would set up a flow of content for people that are interested in your project or in your school, and I will use both interchangeably, because what you will see is that people will start buying themselves, rather than you selling it to them. They want to buy, but most people need to be convinced. One of the things that a lot of people underestimate is that 57% is one of the studies of LinkedIn. IBM just released a study a couple of weeks ago. 60% of the buying decisions are already made before the supplier or the partner or the shop they buy from is contacted, right? 60%, that's more than half. How can you influence people to be within that 60%? That's one of the ways to distribute relevant content. Not just about promoting yourself, but make it interesting for them. Why are you different? What's so good about the system? What are other people saying?
This is what we are building on now. Because first we had to put the platform, and now the next 2 months will get the focus on it.
Excellent. And we're here to help you with that. All right. This can be an automated or semi-automated process. Why? Let's imagine you have 100,000 people interested in your project. How are you going to manage that? If that's a manual process, it's ridiculous. You don't have the manpower or woman power to do that.
We use the Brandon Bouchard strategy.
Very good, very good. I saw that on your profile.
You only have to make the movies.
Yeah, but again, see, that's what we're talking about. That's where you say you're automating some of it and you're scaling up, right? We're at a position now where we have like 1,500 to 1,800 prospects knocking on our door every month. Last month was a new high. We had more than 2,000 customers saying, "Hey, we want to hire you. The only thing our sales force has to do is to create offers and proposals, right?" And most of them already bought into it. Right? So that's what you can get as well. That's where we're here to help you with that. And last point here is the buyer controls the sale. Right? If someone's going to invest 3 million, you're not in the driver's seat. They're in the driver's seat. But what we're going to help you understand is that if you can find a way to facilitate them in every step of the way, it will be a no-brainer for them to pay the 3 million. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Any questions on this, guys?
No.
No? All right. Cool.
Can you repeat that again? If you facilitate them?
If you facilitate them in the best possible way, the 3 million is going to be a no-brainer.
Yeah, okay, no-brainer. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, the funny thing is, you know the expression no-brainer, right?
Yeah.
Do you know that there are people born without brains?
No?
No?
Without half of the brain.
Without full brains as well.
Yeah.
Right? I've written a blog about a couple of years ago, and what I still get like 50 visitors a month on my blog about the article I read. We talk about no-brainers, and I did some research, and then I found out there are kids born. Some of them just live a couple of hours, others live up to a couple of weeks, and there are kids with half a brain, like you said, Brianna, who live up to years, even into puberty. And it's really crazy to literally look at people who have no brain or no, let's say, one side, how the other side gets trained in compensating some of the really interesting stuff. Anyways, science element, but no-brainers actually exist. That's what I wanted to. So, what is social selling for you guys?
Inspiring instead of pushing the sale.
Yeah. Okay. Push-pull. All right. What we also say it's about identifying and leveraging the trust that's already there. A lot of people are too pushy. We start from building trust, right? When the trust is there and it's already there in your network, and now Patricia's just gonna, but this is going to be her keyword here, the trust that's already in the network, right? To view and expand and enhance your business through relationships, right? Relationships matter. A lot of people underestimate them and don't use the power of the network yet. We'll talk about that in a couple of minutes. Does this make sense? All right.
Yeah.
Now we see social selling on different levels. The first one is the lower level. It's about using the right platforms to communicate, connect, and engage with your prospects and leveraging relevant content effectively. Right? This is about the platform. Now you said you're already building the platform. The platform is there. LinkedIn is a platform. Facebook is a platform. Twitter is a platform. Using those platforms in the best possible way to reach your scale, to make sure that you communicate one-to-one, to engage with people. It's not just about, again, it's not about broadcasting, it's about building relationships, how you build them up. One of the ways to do that, make sure you have the right content available, that you talk to people, right? That's lower level. High level is about embracing the behavioral shift. And the shift that's taken place, we just talked about, is that people nowadays, they are well informed, they speak up, they do their homework before they go in a shop. If you look at, for example, people buy a car or a house, people are so much more informed than a decade ago, than 2 decades ago, right? And if you embrace that shift, the way people make a decision, you can influence that decision. And that's where social selling comes into place. By using the power of your network, you can influence your future, let's say the future parents whose children are coming to your school, because they don't know it yet, but once you start, building a relationship with them, the only thing they could do is say yes. There's no possibility to say no, because it will be so convincing to them, it will be so appealing, and everyone in their network will be raving fans about your project, and that's what we'll be working towards. All right? With me on this? Yes. Questions? No? All right, cool. So the number one principle we already talked about, give and receive, was mentioned previously. What is the most common expression in English? Is give and? The most common expression in English is give and
receive.
No, give and take.
Oh, you mean that?
Say,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, that's
is that the same thing or is that different?
Yeah.
Than give and receive? Yeah? Different. Right. Who can explain the difference?
One thing is you just give so that other people need to give back, and this is more like a spontaneous thing, like a connection. Because of the connection you receive.
Okay, all right. Fairly good. So what you see is that with give and take is what a lot of hard selling people would do. They give with the intention of taking something back later on. Right? That's a selling attitude. Not a nice one, if you ask me.
With
but
the
that's
mind.
With the mind, exactly.
The other one is with the heart.
Exactly. So from, let's say, shifting from mind to your heart. Give and receive is more coming from the heart. If you help people, if you give and give help to other people, most people would reciprocate. But on top of that, those people will talk about you, become ambassadors, and spread the love, if you wish, to other people. What you will see is that those other people will also start to help you. And so when you start giving, you always receive more than what you have given. If the intention is to give and to help other people, yes, it is true. You don't have to believe me. Again,
it's an universal law.
It is, but very few people practice this. Right? Sorry?
Because they don't know and they don't realize they have been educated differently. Yeah.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
Part of this has to do with the education.
Yeah.
Because in a commercial way, people say, yeah, well, our company is this for 40 years, we've been doing this, hard selling of this, so we continue to do that. And they forget about this universal law.
That's just what I admired at Jan when I first met him 10 years ago. 10 years ago or so. Then he was not having LinkedIn and all the training, and his company didn't exist yet. And when he was talking about his vision and the way he wanted to approach the world, for me that's the basic of all. He just implemented it in business, so it's great.
Jan has been using me as an example for writing some of his stuff. That's why we naturally started to work together. I didn't have to study this. This is who I am. This is also who Veronique is. We live this throughout. And that's where you see that people get completely different, let's say, experience with you. Right?
And that's so nice about the schools. The kids learn that very young already. It's really lovely.
Yeah, yeah. So one of the things you could do, let me give you a practical example on how you can do that. For example, on LinkedIn, that giving and receiving. One of the things you will see is that on